What the heck? Is it gonna do that every time I join into the game? Probably will. Hey everyone! Alright, welcome back to some more Let's Play Alone in the Dark. We left off, we began exploring most of this place. We've been in the cellar, we moved some barrels out of the way. We've read some books, we have more books to read. We began exploring the ground floor, and all the second floors explored. We still have to figure out how to get out of here. Because, to my knowledge, we're still not allowed just simply to leave. We have to rid ourselves of whatever it is that's causing Derceto to be so horrible. Alright, let's try this door. Let's see. Let's get ourselves... Wow, we have so many things to read this time around. How much is left in our rifle? 2 shots? Let's equip it. Oh, do you see the cigar thing there? The smoke will eventually fill the entire room and damage you a little bit, and then the smoke will start again. We have to put out the cigar. I think we can do that with some water, but that means we have to go back up to the second floor, the third floor, to get the pitcher? No, the pitcher's on the second floor. I think we can actually get there by going up that way, but we'll stick to the little corner. I'll turn off the music once this song gets done playing as well. Alright, so we'll grab the pitcher, then we'll read something. We'll go in there, we'll destroy the cigar, we'll read something. This way we interspace us wandering around the mansion a little bit with some of the reading. Otherwise, this whole episode might end up just being books. Okay, so we have to go to the room that has the purple creature in it. We could probably shoot it to stun it. But I like to hold on to some of our rifle rounds. Especially because we can't, to my knowledge, we can't kill this creature. Alright, here we go. So we need that pitcher. Well, that was a nice way to end it. Alright, so we're just gonna dash in there, go. Take the jug. Get out. Woo! Alright, well that wasn't so bad. Alright, so we want to go this way. And let's read something. Now we don't get the music on. Now. Stop. Alright, not the combat music at least. We're not in combat. Alright, so let's read ourselves another book. Let's try this one.
If Rocks Could Talk, or The Story of a Louisiana Plantation, by the Marquise de Chamfray.
After the criminal selling off of Florida by the foul usurper, my father elected to remain in this inhospitable land, where we were free at least to express our royalist feelings, and hope our country would come to its senses. In 1818, a certain Pickford bought up Ledoux's land, after the poor fellow had ruined himself in unfortunate speculation. Pickford soon turned out to be the most loathsome human we had ever encountered. He was an adventurer of the worst kind, nouveau riche, and bloated with a grotesque sense of self-importance. First came the incessant army of men with shovels, digging into the mountain of earth that was to fill in the surrounding swamp. The undertaking was quite stupendous. We learned from a slave that the final objective was to connect the existing caves with another one of gigantic proportions.
Ah, we had just read about that, a series of tunnels in a map. I thought that was in New England, but I suppose it was actually here. Somewhere in Florida instead. I guess that's where we're actually located. I don't remember where it said Derceto was, but we have seen some frogs and things that look like swamps on our way over here, so it might make sense that's kind of where we are.
Racked by a mania of persecution, Elia Pickford constantly fired his workers and hired new ones. He did all he could to keep anyone from learning about his plans. My father was amused and said, "The poor fool will end up getting lost in his own cave." But the walls went up, and tongues started wagging. Our detestable neighbor had been a sailor, a ruffian grown rich on questionable trade. distasteful stories were told of him.
Ah, sounds a lot like Prext, doesn't it? Oh, hey, it's the ground floor of the mansion. We've been in most of these rooms. If we're looking at this, the upper left room was the garden with Artemis. The lower left was the... What was that? That was the... Not the dining room, the kitchen.
When the work was finished, Pickford invited us to the opening of his rambling mansion, which he named Derceto. My father asked what the strange name meant. Pickford answered, "Derceto reminds me of Astarte, the fertility goddess. Around here, the name is Shub-Niggurath, I believe." That a name so steeped in evil should be said aloud came as not such a shock to my father, as he himself confided in me some while later.
Wow, years later now, that's actually one of the old ones, I believe, isn't it? The goat with 1,000 young, I think.
We left immediately. In June of 1862, Derceto was burned down in unexplained circumstances. It was undoubtedly the deed of some jealous Yankee or another. It was amazing to watch the servants rushing into the flames to try and save their bullet-riddled master. After that terrible night, Derceto fell into ruin. Its blackened walls were soon overgrown, as human-built works always are, by ever-present nature. In 1875, the property was eventually bought by a gentleman whose name was Howard Hartwood. I was sorry that my father, who delighted in fine conversation, was no longer alive to enjoy the company of this new neighbor. Learned and well-versed in history, he had made a particular study of piracy. It was Hartwood who told me that Pickford had commanded a ship that flew the flag of piracy. That explained the scoundrel's great wealth. Hartwood was fascinated by Pickford and undertook a great deal of research in an attempt to find some treasures that he was convinced the pirate had hidden. He went through the ruins inch by inch. He then had the burnt-out house rebuilt exactly as it had been, and refurbished the library that had miraculously escaped the flames on the night of the Great Fire.
Probably enchanted or magically protected, honestly. The only thing that would keep it around. Maybe the books themselves did it.
Hartwood set about studying every volume in that library, and often talked to me of his research. He was a handsome widower, deeply attached to his son Jeremy, who was later to become a professional artist. Hartwood worked incessantly, first from the room I offered him, then from his own freshly restored home, which he rebaptized Derceto. I imagine he hoped to enlist the help of the god of good fortune in his treasure hunt. As far as I have ever been able to tell, all his searching came to nothing. There were no lost treasure to be found at Derceto. I learned of Hartwood's death while I was in Paris. But that, as they say, is another story.
No, it's still kind of music. Darn it. Oh, no! That's quit! Oh, God! Oh, no, I didn't save the game! Alright, so we gotta redo this really quick. Okay, that's a bit awkward. Alright, then. Crap. Alright, so we're... Darn it. This will get you. Alright, I'll be right back, everyone. Be right back. Okay, everyone, I'm back. The book has been reread, and we've got the picture. You don't actually, to my knowledge, have to actually sit and listen to the pages get read. And as far as I'm aware, you could even skip all the books. They're just here for fluff and to help you perhaps figure out some puzzles later on, or explain the story to us, which I suppose is more of fluff. Alright, so we have the picture. Now we have to go to we're going to go to the dining room to fill it up with some water. Once we put out the cigar, we'll go ahead and read another entry. It occurs to me, I used to play this game like a roguelike when I was young. Whenever something would kill me, I would start over again. Lots of starting over. But then eventually, I could get through the whole game in like about an hour and a half. Assuming I didn't not read the books. Okay, so we have to go through here. Guess that's a great job on that, didn't they? I love the sound effect. Alright, let's take our jug and use it. You fill the jug. Perfect. Alright, now we should be able to close this again. Don't think we'll need to go back in there again. Let's take care of this evil cigar, shall we? I think something gets mentioned about the cigars very soon, about how pricks like to smoke them, and how something dangerous happened one time when he was doing so. I have to remember to rip some of the sound effects from this game from it later, like doors shutting and so on. Alright, let's get our... Oh, we can eat and drink the water? Interesting. We'll take the lighter. Take that, evil possessed cigars. Yeah, this game is very much like, what was it? Occult Chronicles. Just a actual one you can actually walk around in. Alright, let's read another book, and then we'll search that room. Or a parchment. Let's read this parchment this time.
The Sacrificial Dagger, Otto Stern, Lumina Books.
The importance placed on ritual sacrifice is constant in religious cult practice. Propitiating the gods is a theme common to many religions. The Old Testament affords many examples. Primitive polytheistic belief systems integrate sacrifice in their rituals as part of the recurrent process of reaffirmation and, naturally enough, group cohesion. The members of their social and religious community come together in an act of purification and atonement. It would be erroneous to imagine the act of human sacrifice linking priest, offering, and God, cf. Manzetti stone cults, as anything less than a vital focusing of the group's faith. The act also ensures the continuing appeasement of the god, but only if practiced by a recognized officiating priest using the appropriate instrument. Studies made concerning primitive religious groups bear witness to the central role of sacrifice in living ritual. My own work in the field of ethnopsychology brought me into contact with a sorcerer living in the region of Arkham. He introduced me to the rite of steel, linked to a ceremony known as adoring the black goat of the woods with 1,000 youngs. The god being adored is known as the vagabond.
Interesting. So we read about that. That's Astarte. I believe it's the name of the god, or Astarte? How about that? Another name for it.
Here, the dagger's role, which allows the life breath to pass from one dimension to another, is essential. The vagabond is a frightening figure, being able to move where he wants and to kill those who have displeased the goat god, for whom he acts as a go-between. The goat is clearly a fertility god. The priest, having spoken the invocation, must choose the appropriate dagger for the sacrifice. The knife with a sinusoidal blade that must be dipped 7 times, on night when the moon is full, in water that has been distilled 100 times, will be laid aside, since it would send the vagabond back into his own dimension. See illustration.
Ah, darn it. I should have read this while we were up in the library before. So that's your hint as to what to use to destroy the vagabond if you so choose. You don't actually have to kill it, as you kind of have seen. You were able to simply avoid it if you wish, and I had done that for some time before I actually was able to get the confidence in myself to kill it.
The priest will rather choose the dagger with a curved blade. That is more appropriate for slitting of the lamb's throat. This act transfigures the sorcerer priest and plunges the assembled worshippers into a divine trance.
Interesting. There's a werewolf out there somewhere, something that sounds like one. Okay, we have made it back to this, well, this room. Let's search this place pretty thoroughly if we can. A record. Why don't we leave that here at the moment? And another book. Oh my goodness, so much to read. Okay, can we open this door, I wonder? It's locked. We do still have another key, don't we? A single desk. Must be a office. A statue. Must be of the niece. When she was a little older, I suppose. Another record. And another book. Holy crap. Alright, we gotta find some place like we can just sit and I suppose read. Nothing in the little desk. Let's search this. This looks like it can move. That's because it can. Nothing there. Let's check the painting. Nothing at the painting. We can see a sword and shield here, can't we? There's a mechanism to trigger. Looks like there's one cavalry saber, doesn't it? Let's go find our cavalry saber pieces. And we'll go ahead and place them there. Actually, do we have them with us? I don't think we do we? No, we do not. Okay, so why don't we go and do that? Oh, we also don't need these match boxes anymore. We now have a lighter, so we should not need the matchbox. Where's that piece of parchment? Sacrificial dagger, I think is what it was called. Yep, let's leave that here too. Alright, so where did I leave? The pieces are back on the third floor, I think. We'll go up there, grab the pieces, and then we'll read another text. And so what do you guys think of the game? I hope you guys are liking it. I know I do a lot of backtracking. It's because I'm trying to make it a little thematic and creepy, walking around this evil house. But again, realistically, there's nothing that respawns for us here. There's no achievements either, obviously, anything like that. That was before such came out. I really do like the game, though. I love the writing in it. Oh, wait, no, I didn't put the... Did I put the... I thought I moved it downstairs. I don't think it's actually in this room up here anymore. Yeah, isn't it downstairs, Tim? I think I put it by the cellar, didn't I? Maybe I did that. That would be on the first floor then. Okay, if it's not there, then we'll just read a book. And there is something moving around somewhere making a horrible sound. I don't know how you're supposed to get any sleep at all in this place. Yes, alright, this is where I left this stuff. Alright, let's take both of these. And then, why not? Let's read another book. Let's try this one from the library.
Juan Luis Jorge, De Biblioteca. Reflections on the power of the verb in certain texts. Archaeos Publications, 1919, Stafford.
Translation does not alter the occult power contained within such forbidden texts. The malevolent energy is in no way diminished. The spell must be cast aloud and clearly, in certain languages or little-known dialects. Maglafar Fatang. The reader will understand that, in the light of these revelations, I would be foolhardy to continue quoting from the text I have before me. If spoken aloud in its entirety, it would surely awaken powerful and malignant forces. I will go further and say that simple reading of some of the more technical passages describing specific practices is in itself a perilous exercise. The ill-prepared reader can easily fall prey to attacks of demented hysteria, not unlike those described in cases of individuals said to be possessed by evil spirits.
Even reading the books not out loud is enough to cause horrible things to happen to you.
I recommend the study made by Zempf, Urbain, Grandier, and Loudon, and the reports made by the Reverend Richard Price concerning a number of astonishing, to say the least, exorcisms carried out in a parish near Providence. Given what I have written, we must be grateful to the librarians of the British Museum, who have never allowed consultation of the work of Al-Azif's startling work, the infamous Necronomicon. Copies of that work do exist, in spite of the zeal of book-burning inquisitors. For proof, we need look no further than the British Museum, of course, and the sealed archives of the Miskatonic University in Arkham.
Oh, the game actually does mention Miskatonic. How about that? Okay, so this takes place in that world.
Other examples of books whose evil can be unleashed by any thoughtless reader are von Jutz's von Unersprechlichen Kulten and the abominable De Vermis Mysteries by Ludwig Prien, whose sordid death should be a lesson to all those tempted by a study of the occult.
Be very careful of those books. We do still have another very dangerous book with us, but we will read it because why not? We'll just reload the game after it's done. Let's put the power of the verb. I love the title of the book as well. You can stay there. Let's read another. So we'll read, that one wasn't so long. Let's try this. Let's read one of the other books we picked up just recently.
The Tale of Captain J.W. Norton of the Army of the Union.
1862. The South was in collapse. Louisiana was open to us. I had each day to requisition victuals for our troops, and was aided in this endeavor by a score of brave men. Rebels were not yet ready to lay down their arms. The region was far from safe. I headed further and further west, and questioned many freed slaves. From them, I learned of a plantation on the coast. Its name was Derceto. We received a less than hearty welcome. Only Pickford, the owner, behaved in a friendly manner. While my men counted cattle and grain reserves, I learned what I could from him. Man was most unusual and possessed an extraordinarily cultured mind. At nightfall, I gave orders for the men to bivouac at Derceto. Pickford invited my second-in-command, Lieutenant Patterson, and myself to dine. And our host proved a most entertaining conversationalist. While coffee was being served, Patterson went to inspect the men's camp. The cigar Pickford offered me was so acrid that my head began to spin. I remembered campfire tales of fellow officers trapped by devilish Confederate tricks. My mind floated in a foul and dense fog, from which emerged the enlarged and deformed face of Pickford. He grinned at me. Patterson's return chased off the nightmare. I heard shouts and firing from outside, and found the strength to take out my revolver. I fired 3 shots. Pickford fell to the floor. Patterson then helped me out of the burning house. The air was filled with smoke. We resembled a company in disorderly retreat. I saw slaves leaping into the flames of that inferno. They were trying to save Pickford's life.
Looks like Pickford, or perhaps Prext, tried to eliminate these Yankees as they came down there. However, they were more strong-willed than he thought. Okay. Let's put the saber back in the sword and see what... sword. Let's put the broken sword back in the... I don't know what you call it. Wall hanging? This kind of describes what its purpose is, I suppose. I don't think there's anything left in here we need to worry about at the moment. Alright, so what happens if we do this? You put the saber blade back. Now, we don't want to go down there, because we're not finished with the house. And if we go down there, well, unfortunately for us, I think the seal's behind us, and we will be unable to successfully beat the game. Yeah, there was lots of make sure you have different save spots around in this game. We're going to keep going, and we will make some more progress exploring more areas of the house. We've done enough, I think, walking and reading. Let's actually do some combat. Get a little bit of that in, at least, for this session. Let's take out our rifle. Get ready for a mini-boss battle. We've only got, I think, 2 more rooms left in the house to explore. We have to double back for a few things that I've been leaving behind. We've also got all those texts to read, and I really do want to read them. Now, we know we can't leave that way. This passage leads back to the sitting room. Oh, it's locked. Really? Okay. I didn't realize it was locked. How? Oh, wait. I just had a key in my hand. What was that? Okay, this key probably isn't used for anything then. Let's just leave that key behind. Where's our rifle? Alright, everyone. Hope you're ready for this. We have a pirate. However, he is immune to all damage done to him by anything except for, I believe, a sword weapon. However, he's pretty good at blocking. In fact, he'll parry most of our attacks. We have to get him in the corner. Yep, this is... I know it's not that epic, but it's what we have to do. We might get a hit or 2 on him. I hope so. Got him once. Got him twice. Oh, we both took a hit there. You can pin him. He's bleeding. Yeah! Take it. Take it. Okay, we took a little bit of damage, but we're still looking okay. We found another key. Oh, you know, I wonder... Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not making much sense at the moment. Does this key open this door? I guess it does, doesn't it? Okay. We will go in there. First, I want to open... Actually, we should probably go in now. Yeah, let's go in now. Let's take a peek around and show you guys what's in here. Ghosts. I know they don't look like it, but those are ghosts. Like all the ghosts in the game, if you touch them, you will really regret it. There is something on the mantelpiece above the fireplace. That is a key. We will want that key if we want to beat the game. We're going to go ahead and unlock this door here. Oh, do I have the key? It's like, oh, we can't unlock that door. All right then. Can we unlock this door? Problem with that is that leads to the room with the spiders, so we don't really want to go in there. Looks like there's something right here, doesn't there? What is this? Oh, I don't see anything, actually. I guess that's just a graphic glitch? 1 second. Let's close the door and check that again. That looks like a book. Doesn't that look like a book? What is this? No, it's nothing. Okay, nothing there. So we have a key, and there was something else down on this side we saw too, wasn't there? A record. Alright, let's take this record. We're going to want the record player from back upstairs on the second floor. But before we do that, why don't we read another book or two? Let's see. Let's try reading this one.
Memories by Alistair Boleskine. Printed in London, A. Machin, editor, 1833.
It was during a conversation with G that one first heard of the New England fishing village of I. The area was apparently the ideal place from which to witness unusual phenomena in space. The quality of the air, along with the conjunction of several favorable factors, made one impatient to get started. Having gleaned what information one could from the British Museum, one set off with all haste.
Did we read this before? We might have. This sounds like the same book we had read up above, doesn't it?
One's work on space and comets in particular had met with a warm response, and one thought it judicious to include several original sketches of the phenomenon, sketches which one felt were sure to arouse a great deal of keen interest in the scientific circles of 1834. One refers naturally to the passage of Halley's comet.
Right, it is in New England that this other place was, that he was able to see the constellations with clarity. I thought that was also down here in Florida, or maybe the places were jumbled together. But I guess this is a different location to where Dosetta was actually constructed. What if he's talking about Innsmouth as well? That'd be kind of funny if he was.
Editor's note. Lord Boleskine's memoirs end at this point. Who knows what extraordinary contributions he might still have made had he not succumbed during his visit to New England to dementia, followed by an early death in St. Andrew's Hospital.
Wow. So he went mad there. Guess he failed his sanity check. That's probably what's going to happen to anyone who messes with any of the old ones. All right, let's try another book. Or parchment. Let's read this one. What does this say?
The Book of Yael, Signs of Stone, Eucharistic Rituals of Forbidden Cults. Texts collated by Monsignor Vacher, legate in the Curia of the Vatican.
Well, that just sounds very important.
Numerous devilish cults speak of monstrous creatures called the Old Ones. These supernatural beings are believed to be possessed of powers equivalent to those of the gods of antique religions. Adepts of such cults refer to forbidden literature in order to cause these frightful entities to appear before them. What serious student of folk myths has not come across the names of Cthulhu and Shub-Niggurath? It must be said that these creatures wield tremendous power and are difficult to control once they have been unleashed into the world. Those who serve He Who Goes in Shadows protect themselves with signs of stone carved into the walls of houses or engraved on various objects.
Oh, the elder sign. They're probably speaking about an elder sign.
For those misguided servants of evil, the best protection appears to be that afforded by the sign of the most ancient gods, engraved in Manar stone, a heavy material said to be disagreeable to the touch.
We have one of those, so I suppose that will protect us.
The sinful practices of those who fall into such errors can only lead to the darkest of despair, and are a mortal danger to the soul. Such monsters as those invoked by these foolhardy individuals are engendered when reason drops its guard. Man is easily tempted into perversion. It is why we must forever remain alert and renounce Satan with each breath we take. His ways are infinite in number.
Lots of religious texts here. I don't remember so many. It's kind of awesome. I'll put you down there as well, Mr. Parchment. Okay. We need to go and get the phonograph. I think that's what it's called. From upstairs. Oh, hello. There's another book hidden right there. Well, we might as well take this book. Hello, book. And we'll read you later. We will read another one after we're done with this part. It'll be a bit tricky. We're going to do this anyway. Hurry, hurry. Okay, we are... Well, we're not in a rush. Not really. In fact, I need to take my time to go get it because I don't want to touch the ghost up here in the second floor. So, the ghosts won't follow you, by the way, upstairs and downstairs. They'll just kind of stay on the floor, which means that you can technically activate the ghosts and then just leave. But for the rest of the game, you will hear that loud sound as they are unable to chase you throughout the entirety of the mansion. Gramophone, that's what it is. Alright, so we've got a record. Why don't we use it with the gramophone? Oh. Alright, we gotta actually use it in the room. I forgot that we also automatically put the thing on the ground, so let's find a decent place to put it in that room. And we'll see what happens. You guys are probably wondering, like, Tim, I thought I saw more records lying around, and you'd be correct. Yep, there are more records. We're gonna go and see what those are soon. The ghosts only want one record to be played. They won't... So to get the ghosts to move out of the way, I suppose you can touch them and then just try to run around them, but that's really annoying, and I don't want to do that to you guys because of how loud the rest of the game will be to the very end. What we need to do is place the gramophone down and play the right song, and then hopefully we can get the key when the ghosts move out of the way, because they're going to start dancing around the ballroom for us. J. Strauss's Blue Damlube? They seem to dislike this music. Alright, well, let's try another record. The game will play this music for the remainder of the time until it runs out, in which case it goes back to normal music. We'll leave the music on while I'm playing stuff on the gramophone. Oh, is that what this song is called? I've heard this song before. Hello, Zombie Room. I think the other records were in here, weren't they? One was one inside this? I think so. Alright, let's try this one instead. Can we go out this way, perhaps? It was locked on the inside. Yep, we're leaving all the doors open now. Most of the creatures down here are defeated, with the exception of these ghosts and the upstairs purple monster. This is a good ball song. I don't know why they don't want this one. See, the ladies' dresses are nice. The guys' suits are kind of, I don't know, kind of crappy. Alright, let's also move this out of the way so it doesn't interrupt me while I'm trying to do something. Trying to pick up something mid-go will cause your character to stop running, which can be really, really frustrating. Alright, let's try this one. Nope, they don't like whatever that was either. Well, there was one more record, so it's probably that one. You better start running. Oh, you did start. Okay, is there anything else in this? Let's search this really quick. Nothing important. Okay. Oh, wow, we can see into that room and the tables and chairs in it, too. How about that from across the way? The last item was in here, wasn't it? I think it was in this. This is the record that they want. I actually thought it was the red one. Alright, so we're going to save the game first because it's very easy to mess this up. Very easy. I used to remember their motions by heart. I no longer remember it, though. Alright, here we go. Oh, no. Save the game first, Tim. This goes south. This could go really south. Alright. Time for it. Oh, book. Crap.
Daemonia Particularis.
No, we'll read that one later. We'll read the demon book later. Awesome book. Sounds like an awesome book to read. We'll read it later. Let's try this record. Oh, this is awkward. I'm where I didn't want to be. Walk past everything I left on the ground to avoid doing that. Oh, this is really bad for us. Oh, thank... No! What are you doing? Holy crap, I hate you, Edward. Don't open the door. Get out of here. Oh, right. And if you do successfully manage to do that, they destroy themselves once you leave the room. Forgot about that. Okay, let's read Daemonia Particularis.
Daemonia Particularis, Signs and Rituals, by Heinrich Cassel, Ring Publications.
The ritual of invocation demands that the officiant be pure. We have already described the complex operations to be followed in order to call those that sleep in superior dimensions. We shall, for the present, limit ourselves to the sign of mutual recognition used amongst their number by adepts of the cult of the Old Ones. The sign also serves as protection when in the presence of a servant of evil. The sign resembles a blessing, save that the first and little fingers are both folded beneath the thumb, whilst the second and third fingers are held up. It would appear that this sign has no effect on adepts of a certain rank with knowledge of particular secrets contained in the corpus demonicus. The use of such signs is not without considerable risk to the user during any attempt to call upon those from without.
I love the way that all these books are worded. And I like how they don't refer to these things by their first names if they can help it. Alright, so we don't need this one. Let's keep you there. Let's read another. Oh, we're almost done. We just got 2 books left? Okay. So, this book is a bad book to read. Why don't we read that one? Let's save the game first. And let's go to a spot where we'll get a better view of Edward Carnby. Oh, this will probably work right here. Alright. Let's see what the red book is like, shall we?
Fragments of the Book of Abdul.
In the antique city of dead Relia, Cthulhu dreams and waits. In the pit of time, the unspeakable lies in wait. That is not dead which can eternal lie. Relia, Your blocks of stone seal the ritual that gives birth to fear. Cthulhu Fotang! Cthulhu Fotang! Ayah! Ayah! Let he who knows how to invoke the stones act. It is time. Let the shadow of Cthulhu darken the sky. May the servitor of the black goat of the woods with 1,000 youngs sound his flute in honor of the unspeakable. Cthulhu Fotang! Cthulhu Fotang! Ayah! Ayah! May he who may not be named cast his withering gaze upon the unbeliever. For he is the door, the key, and the guardian of the door, and holds you now in his immense power.
It won't kill you, but it will hurt you. You know what? We actually only lost 5 hit points. We'll keep that result, as a Carnby is now discovering he should never read any book besides green books. Why don't we leave it in this corner? And what book was that? Fragments of the Book of Abdul. I thought relay was actually Riley, is how you pronounced it, but what do I know? Alright, we have a little more time. Why don't we... I think... Oh, the key. Do I have that key? Key to the dance hall. We have another key. Alright, let's... Can we use the key to the dance hall here? No, we can't. Okay, then we're just going to leave that here. There's no reason for us to hold on to it anymore. Okay, and I guess we're good to go. Only 24 left in the oil lamp. We have one... Oh, we have another oil can. Yeah, let's use it. No, I have some left. We don't need to use it right now. Alright, the rest of this I want to hold on to. We have a melee weapon, a rifle with 1 round left in it, and we have 18 rounds left in our pistol that we haven't even... A revolver we haven't even fired. I guess we'll go downstairs, see if there's anything to explore in the room down below, and then we'll call the session at that point. The game is still extremely dangerous, by the way. Even though we survived the house, we now have the caverns below the house to get through. And it will also be very dangerous and very difficult. We'll finally see Edward Carnby's jump platforming skills while we're there. Shut that door. I'll shut these ones too. Alright, it's time. I mean, it was time before. I don't know why I shut the doors. You guys are probably so annoyed. Let's head down there. I don't think there's anything else up here. We'll save the game here. Let's do it. Oh, right. The Bridge of Death. This bridge can only be crossed once. Let's see if we can do it. Whew. Where's our rifle? Alright, everyone. Things are going to get really tough from here on out. I mean, they were already tough, but it's going to get much tougher now. We can die easily in these tunnels there's 2 different creatures in here. Actually, there's several different creatures now in the tunnels. And this tunnel looks really odd, doesn't it? This doesn't look like a man-made tunnel. I don't see any supports or anything. my friends, is a I think it's a Cthulhu. It is a giant worm. It is very dangerous, and its mouth is actually a lot longer than it looks. Lengthwise, we're looking at its height. It can reach out and bite us, and if it does so, it will take 50 points of damage. The moment we enter its vision, it will immediately begin to chase us down the hallway. It is massive, and we have to beat it down the hallway. However, it's not the only thing in the hallway. We need to be careful of another creature that will be showing up there too. I think there's a Hound of Talandios is what I'm going to call it down there as well. Let's save the game. We'll see how far, if we can do this. If we die, then we'll just call the session here, and in the next episode, we'll run past it. Otherwise, we'll keep going for a little bit longer. Here we go. Where's our revolver? No, we're dead. We're dead. It's gonna knock us right into the creature. Oh my god. We lived. Holy crap. We lived and it died. We wasted a few rounds from our revolver though. I don't think it's gonna work out for us. We have to hurry, Tim. It's walking around this way. Oh my god, that's terrifying. Keep going, go. Can we go down the passage maybe it dug open for us? We can, okay. Alright, holy crap. I think we'll be okay. Alright, everyone. Whew. We'll stop here, and when we come back, we'll explore what horrible place we're in now. It'll probably be the last episode as well. So I will... Oh, hello, Deep One. We're going to have to avoid these creatures. They won't come up at us, however. We'll kind of just stay there. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. And take care, everyone. Hello, Deep One. I miss you so much.